let's start with Brent. Like, this is your third film in a row here at deadCENTER, and they're all wildly diverse. And so just tell me about the origin of this project and just kind of what you're going for in these films.
Okay. Yeah, we started a production company in 2009 called Toy Gun Films, and we set out to do 4 shorts. This is our third one. The first one was called Intus Manos, and we shot that in Colombia. We did one called Paper Flower, shot that in Tokyo, and then this is our third one. So we're teamed up with an organization called One Hope, and they use these films on the ground where we shoot them. So we're just kind of just making films around different issues in these countries. So with Colombia was violence, with Tokyo we addressed materialism, and then in Africa we're looking at child soldiers. So.
Where in Africa?
We shot this in Cape Town.
Okay.
Cape Town.
And Rebecca, tell us about the origins of your project.
So Noodling is my thesis film that I did for graduate school at USC. I guess the origin of the project is that I wanted to make a film about a story that I thought I had never seen on the screen, and that sort of fused where I'm from and a place that sort of captured my heart and my imagination. So that was how it came together.
How did you get exposed to noodling?
I'm embarrassed to say that I read about it in the New York Times. So I read about it, and I was just fascinated by it. I'm from New York. The character of Mikey is probably loosely based on me. I am a Met fan. I just was completely fascinated by it, and I thought, I wanted to make a film that was sort of about a person like me meeting somebody from a place that I was interested in, and that's how it came together.
Tell me a little bit about how you got connected to your Oklahoma crew and cast Maddie and.
So actually, I had never been to Oklahoma, and I didn't know anyone here. But I like doing that. I like moving places where I don't know anybody and finding my way. I live in Los Angeles now, and I didn't know anyone when I moved there either. And so I actually connected with somebody named Cassandra Kettrick, who is my co-producer, and she couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately. But I found her on Facebook, and she proceeded to introduce me to the Oklahoma Film and Music Office and Michelle DeLong, who was our casting director. That's how I met Maddie, and then Jason, who plays the dad, and Aaron. And so it was sort of, oh, there he is, come on up. I wasn't sure if he was still here. This is Jason Padgett. He was also on the and I found the artistic community here so welcoming, and people were so, it was a combination of really amazing creative people who were so helpful, and then just, the local community in Pauls Valley, which was, we had to tell them to stop bringing us stuff and to stop helping us, because they were just so wonderful and amazing. And half of the things in the film we didn't even really, there was some amazing production design work done, but like the restaurant, for example, it's just, that's how it is. And so it became a really amazing journey, the making of the film itself, as much as it was to just watch it, I guess.
In preparation, did you noodle?
I did, actually. Well, yes. So one of my friends who happens to have a family in Wynnewood, his name is Casey, we came out here, and his uncle has been noodling his whole life, and he took us, and then we also went to the Noodling Festival, which was pretty great. And we just had a good time. And then actually, the guys who caught the fish for us to be in the movie are extras in that opening scene. And yeah, so it was pretty great.
Okay. Anybody take one? Let's do back first. Yeah.
For Brent, all right, especially with the child soldier, problem being a very current issue and not something in the past. How did you guys handle making a film about so much ongoing violence and kind of capture that and deal with it?
Yeah, that was one of the issues, is what to show. In the research we found cases of violence that you wouldn't want to talk about or obviously show on film. So what we decided to do was, in this film, really focus on the people committing the violence. So we wanted to focus on what was happening to these kids that were either forced or starting to do the violence. So whenever you see someone get shot or killed in the film, instead of focusing on the person getting shot and bleeding, try to look at the person that committing the violence and what it does to them. So with the character of Killer, when you see him shooting, you can see in his eyes that he's just kind of lost his humanity, and he's just become this this warrior. And then with the younger kids, you kind of see, even with the kid who was recruited and abducted in the beginning, he couldn't even hold the gun, and at the end of the movie, he shot the little girl. So we just wanted to kind of take a different approach instead of just showing blood and violence, because we kind of all have seen that. We just wanted to see what it was like to look into the person committing that atrocity and actually what it does to them. So that was kind of a stylistic choice we did to try to address the issue, and show the violence in a realistic way that kind of it went along with the theme of the film.
There's one up here up front. Yeah.
Also for Brent, what were some challenges that you faced shooting in Cape Town, like production?
Well, one of the things we like to do is in Colombia, we shot all Colombian cast and crew, and there's a story about Colombia. With this story in particular wasn't about one certain region, so it was kind of a generalized story. So we shot in Cape Town. The hardest thing was just finding actors to fit the role, because a lot of them had a South African accent. So kids, yeah, it was the youngest cast we had. So we did tons of street casting. We saw probably over 200 kids looking for the right characters, and some of them we didn't get to the very end, but definitely work, since it was a generalized, undescript location, finding the talent was the hardest part.
Well, yeah, up right there.
I had a question for both. How many days did you guys shoot, and did you shoot consecutive days or break it up?
Sure. We shot for 6.5 days, and we shot it straight through.
We shot for 6 days as well. We did 4 days, and then we did a day of turnaround, and then 2 more days to finish it off. Because we were starting to bleed into the nights, we couldn't turn it around. So
Over there.
Is the actor with the real name Snipes related to Wesley Snipes?
That's
Your
the
film?
composer.
Oh no, he was a composer. Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's not.
No, so no.
Anybody else? Yep, right there, up there.
Maddie, what prepared you to handle the role that you took on?
She kind of reminded me a lot of myself, and it's just kind of one of those things that people go through. It's just a typical girl that age who lost her mom, and she's kind of lost, and she's kind of depressed, which isn't me, but some things about it reminded me. And I think I could just look at people my own age, and I think we're all going through similar things to Jenna.
Maddie blew my mind. Actually, Rebecca blew my mind a couple of weeks ago when she told me that that I had cast Maddie in the film I made 6 years ago. So she was 10, 16, 12-ish. Oh, okay. See, so my number one thought was, I'm old. Number two was, wow, she turned out, because we could it was like a day role. And we didn't have a speaking part for her, but we were that girl's got presence, And so it was really cool to see you grow, to actually see you have a character that you can inhabit and take over a lead role. It's cool.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
I'm curious what the budgets were of each of the films.
That's not an appropriate question.
Oh, it's not? Oh, sorry.
No, I'm kidding. If they want to answer it, they can, but they probably won't answer that.
Okay, I have no idea.
Unless you want to.
Undisclosed.
Yeah,
Undisclosed.
I don't mind talking about it. I don't.
I'm just kidding.
No, it's a totally legitimate question. We made this for we made it for about $15,000, of which we, because I was a student at the time, I had a grant through my school that funded about half the budget, and then the rest we fundraised. We had, I was going to say is that, we shot on the Red camera. We had, the production value of this was great, and it was because basically everybody volunteered their time, and we had an immense amount of donations from local businesses, and I think the Walmart Supercenter, probably cut our budget, tremendously, so.
Anybody else? Okay, well, we can talk more out in the hall, and don't forget the closing night film and the award ceremony tonight, and thank you all for coming.